Hello, good morning. My name is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and we are going to take a minute to go over uh, meditation and how exactly meditation can be used in your life to get you started in healing. As I talk, let's go ahead and do some free form. Basically, it's breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Now, in every one of my videos, I explain that if you are new here, this is not a place for silent 30 minutes, just focus on meditation. There's plenty of apps for that. I recommend the Calm app. What I do here is not guided meditation. It is actually going into the psychology of why you're struggling with meditation, why you have tried to meditate for beginners, but you just keep you're not prioritizing it, or you seem to never have the time, or it's just something that every time you sit down to do it, it doesn't work for you, but you really want it to work for you and you don't understand why. So here, this is basically an educational space where while we go over some basic breathing, we go more into the psychology of why meditation doesn't work for some people and how to overcome and troubleshoot that. So, which is why I only focus on meditation for beginners. I don't have yet an advanced class where I get into, okay, now let's discipline the mind, let's delve deeper. I don't really get into that just yet. That's a project that's coming later. So for now, I want to just focus on what exactly is happening in our minds when we sit down to meditate, because meditation, and this is what a lot of people don't know, meditation opens the door for a dialogue or conversation to have with the self. And up until the Healing Garden, there really was no defined what does that mean. And the problem with psychology, the real problem with psychology is it is an opinion. It is philosophical. So there's a lot of hypothesis, there's a lot of speculation, but there's no hard science because there is no laboratory where we can sit down, pull right into the mind and extract what we need. It just doesn't exist. So all the information that we have about the subconscious mind, all of it is purely opinion and abstract. And what's happened is the government is basically wrapping up a lot of stuff and remarketing it for medical, claiming it's fact, when in fact, no, it's not. It is subjective because it's just hypothesis. As is the information that I'm providing to you is also, it's hypothesis. There's no evidence. However, the information that I've accumulated came from my life of 40 years of trauma that I then put together using my 28 years of philosophy and psychology and sociology. And I was able to put together something abstract, a hypothesis or a theory that I was able to utilize so efficiently that I got out of my trauma, literally cured all of my mental disorders. And now I teach it to other people, and the results that are coming in are astronomical. So, as far as this is what worked for me, maybe it'll work for you. That's all I'm doing here. So, I have a concept called Life Titans and Triadic Healing that I basically introduce in the Healing Garden to get people in the right mindset to start embracing what it is I do here. It's very abstract, it's very new, it's very different, but it's working. So here's how it goes. Our life revolves around three titans. You have your identity, you have your conscious awareness, and you have your subconscious mind. Now, each one of these three pieces plays a massive role in your life, your mental health, and where you go about in life and what you do. The problem is these life titans are either active or they are inactive. If they are inactive, it means that they're not playing an active role in your mental health. They're passive, and that's a problem. So the goal with the Healing Garden is to make you aware of these three life titans, to raise your conscious awareness, to make all three of the elements, these three life titans, now active. And by doing so, we can bring them together, align them, and balance them for balanced mental health. So the three titans are your subconscious mind, your identity, and your conscious awareness. Now, your conscious awareness is you. And that's the part that you are aware of. However, in most cases, your conscious awareness is inactive, playing the role of a passive passenger at the mercy of your subconscious mind. Now, everybody's subconscious mind is active. Everybody's mind is active. The only time the subconscious mind is inactive is when you are dead or comatose. That's the only time the subconscious mind has shut down. It's that's science. That is science. The subconscious mind is always working, always functioning. It is most alert and it is most functioning while we are asleep, which is why we dream, which is why we have REM. There's a lot of subconscious activity happening when we sleep, which is why sleep is so important, because that's when the subconscious mind starts its day job. While we are awake, the conscious awareness is supposed to take the helm, but we're not. Instead, too many of us are just kind of passively going, you know what? I'm at the mercy of God and the universe, and whatever happens to me, happens to me. I can't control. This is victim mindset. The minute you think you can't control, that is because an abuser somewhere in your life told you that you can't control. And the reason why is because they wanted to control. So it's actually a limiting belief. Wake up call here. It is a limiting belief to think you can't control. Oh, yes, you can. You're in a victim mindset. So the first thing we do at the Healing Garden is we step in and we make you aware of these 3 life titans. The next thing we do is we start giving you tools to activate them, to wake them up. Now, conscious awareness comes in 3 types. It comes in the type of information and data and life experiences. Those are your 2 options. So here we provide you with data and information. I have podcasts that I do, and I have article writing that I do on my blog, and I also have my Facebook group where I provide a lot of information every day, giving you information to raise your conscious awareness so you become aware and mindful of the problem. That's one of your life titans that I focus on. So the purpose of all of my podcasts is to get your conscious awareness awake and active. The second titan in your life, the identity, is the direction. It's the navigator of your life ship. It determines where you want to go. In most cases, our identity is inactive because our society revolves around suppressing the identity so we'll conform. Emotions are not allowed in our society. They're not. And that is part of our identity. So our identity from the time we are born has literally been thrown away, neglected, broken up into little pieces and suppressed, which is why so many people have midlife crisis, which is why so many people have so many divorces, which is why so many people are walking around angry and violent, which is why so many people have mental illnesses, is because the identity has been taken away from them and suppressed. So if you have an inactive identity, you're going to feel lost in life. You're going to feel empty. You're going to feel unloved. You're going to feel unwanted. You're going to have a problem with rejection and abandonment. You are going to feel like you have a huge hole in your life and you feel lonely no matter what you do. Loneliness is actually the absence of your identity. Loneliness is the absence of your identity. When you find your identity and you put your identity back into you and you awaken it and you make it active, you stop feeling lonely. You stop feeling alone because you're not missing this massive, huge part of you. When you feel rejected and abandoned, it's because you have rejected and abandoned your identity. You are feeling the emotions of your identity, which has internalized the emotions you have provided with it, and it is now projecting its emotions onto you, the conscious awareness, so that you're wandering through life going, I don't know why I can't stop feeling lonely. I don't know what's wrong with me, because you have no identity. Your identity has been taken away from you, and someone else's identity, a narcissist, has been supplanted into you. So the Healing Garden does a lot of activities every single day where we focus on manifestation, daily gratitude, what you love, what you want, what you desire, what you dream. We activate your imagination through play and through communication to get your identity to wake up. Once your identity wakes up, once you find your identity and it becomes active, you now have your 3 life titans available to you. Your subconscious mind, You really don't have to do much there just yet. And your conscious awareness, you being aware of the problem and being mindful, and your identity, the core of who you are, what you want, and where you're going in life. That is your 3 life titans. Now, there is an alignment to these 3 things and a balance to these 3 things. And there's a whole lot of work to be done inside the subconscious mind, which actually, once you activate the conscious awareness and the identity, the subconscious mind kind of sorts itself out and settles down. The reason why it's so crazy is because it's doing the job of your identity and your conscious awareness at the same time. And because your subconscious mind is literally balancing 3 different roles, it's overloaded, it's overworked, it's mentally ill. So I am a firm believer that if you just wake up your identity and you just become consciously aware and mindful, and you start taking an active role and you step in, I have a few other tools that I have, that the subconscious mind, without much work, will actually kind of sort itself out and calm down, and your mental illnesses will literally mitigate until they vanish, because they are just, I'm going to say this, mental illness is just a consequence to you not feeling safe. But once you have conscious awareness and your identity and your defense system reinstated and up and up running, which is part of your identity, then you feel safe and you don't need the mental illness anymore. So the subconscious mind calms down slowly over time with practice. But it starts with conscious awareness, which is why we are here today, every day, doing meditation, teaching you how to plug into your conscious mind, how to become aware of the conversation that needs to take place between your identity and your subconscious mind. You need to talk to your subconscious mind and your identity. And I know the immediate question that follows, how the hell do I talk to a subconscious mind? What does that even look like? That's where emotions come in. And there's a lot of people out there who've disassociated and thrown away their emotions. And this is where we all go, oh, no, thank you, I'm done here. Because you don't want your emotions, because your emotions hurt. We have ways around that. So in the Healing Garden, our 3 goals is to basically make all of these 3 things active. Raise your conscious awareness, activate your identity, and then bring them together through alignment and balancing. And then, well, that's where I have my courses to work out the subconscious mind through play, through communication, and through the awareness, where we start turning things down. And once you become aware of how the subconscious mind works and what it's doing and what its agenda is, then it kind of flows and it does its thing, but you've got to get it back on track. And in order to do that, it's really all about making sure you cultivate your identity and your conscious awareness. So focus on getting those 2 things up. And then once you're ready, you can dive into tuning into your power. You can dive into my courses and into my master classes, and we'll start ripping apart the last of it. And then you'll see everything fall into alignment. Now, when you go to talk therapy or something like that, that's a bass backwards way of doing things. That there really is, that's bass backwards. That's all I have to say about that. That's my word now. I'm coining that one, bass backwards. I like that word. So we're going to go ahead and do a few breaths, and I'm going to teach you how to basically start talking to yourself. So inhale and exhale out through your mouth. So the subconscious mind communicates only through emotions and pictures. It does not use words. It uses emotions to communicate. I love to say this phrase, emotions are the subconscious mind's love language. So once you understand what emotions are and how to use them, you can start using them to communicate with your subconscious mind. I have a couple videos on my YouTube channel. They're the ones that are pinned at the top. Go ahead and watch those. Those are phenomenal as far as filling it in and explaining exactly how this all works. So today I'm going to be focusing more on triadic healing. And within each pillar of triadic healing, there's also a triad. So there's triadic healing in the subconscious mind, there's triadic healing in the identity, and there's triadic healing within the conscious awareness. It's literally like three parts of the three parts all coming together for three parts. There's a reason why it's called triadic healing. It really is. And once you're aware of the big picture, your conscious awareness really shoots up, and then you go, whoa, I got this. Like a lot clicks into place. So the Facebook group is basically designed to cultivate that right mindset for your identity. The podcasts and my YouTube channel is to raise your conscious awareness and get your mind, your conscious mind, up to where it needs to be so it can take control of the ship. And then your subconscious mind will work on that later. There's a lot going on there. And as I said, there's a lot of parts. So we're going to go ahead and breathe in. Now, there are a few things that tell us what our subconscious mind is saying to us. There's feelings throughout our body. That can be an uncomfortable knot in your chest. That could be an uncomfortable knot in your gut. Anything like that, any kind of discomfort in your physical core, that is very much your subconscious mind communicating to you. Mostly it's your identity in your subconscious mind communicating to you. Your gut and your intuition is actually spot on. Discomfort is a red flag. Actually, it's a yellow flag, a blinking red flag that comes from your subconscious mind to tell you, hey, there's a problem. And this is where things get difficult because you have to figure out what the problem is with very little direction from your subconscious mind. But I teach you that here. There's a lot where I teach you how to interpret the language of the subconscious mind. A lot of that. I do that a lot. So go ahead and breathe in. And when your mind is running 1,000,000 miles a minute, when you're trying to meditate, that's actually your subconscious mind trying to draw your attention to its problems and its worry and its concerns and its fears. So that's why your mind is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. And it's supposed to. It's okay to let it run. Now, a lot of the things that we think about, rumination and obsession, that's actually a trauma response. So when you have a problem or an obstacle in your life that's constantly flashing at you that you just can't stop thinking about, that's trauma response. And that's your subconscious mind zoning in going, take care of this problem, take care of this problem, take care of this problem. But it doesn't know how to communicate. So it just sends you bad feelings, worry, anxiety, and fear, and then guilt. And now we're back to trauma responses again. And you're taking all of those emotions in and you're just overwhelmed because you're getting these messages from your subconscious mind that you can't translate. So now you're frustrated, which is why most of us just take the subconscious mind and suppress it. Well, they take the emotions, the messages, and they suppress them. And in my video, I do something. I'm going to start something called subconscious dialogues today, where I basically start teaching you how to speak subconscious mind. It's going to be in like a play format, improv play format. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm totally tapping into my theater for this completely. So that subconscious dialogues is basically a walk through how the subconscious mind speaks, how it works. And I'm going to basically act as an interpreter for the subconscious mind. That way we can get you started in understanding how the subconscious mind works. And as I said, I have a lot of years in theater. So I'm going to be like going all out with the subconscious dialogues. And once I start showing you how the subconscious dialogues work, you'll be able to start, basically your conscious awareness is going to step up and go, oh, I need those emotions. Yes, you need those emotions. So meditation, this is the area of cultivating the mindset, opening up the dialogue, raising your conscious awareness. That is the purpose of meditation for beginners. And we're going to open that door and start communicating with our identity and our subconscious mind. When you get the emotions in during meditation, accept them, love them, want them. Don't suppress them. Emotions are logical. Oh my God, so very logical. And I can prove it. Not now though. So breathe in and breathe out. We're going to take about 5 minutes. Now there's lots of types of meditations. There's pranayama. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And that basically means that you are accessing your inner chi. So I am holistic. I took all the religions and sometimes my words cross over. So I know Qigong, Qi from Tai Chi, and I know Pramayana. I cannot say this word. I do apologize to the Hindu religion. And I'm book read. So I read the words in books. I never actually said them out loud. So what this means is basically it means energy. And there's meditations that focus and pull on that energy. And then there's other meditations where it's box breathing. And that allows you just the process of opening up and getting into the habit and focusing. I love box breathing because the counting, the 1, 2, 3, 4 counting, because of the mathematics, my brain, I don't know if this is true for anyone else, but when I do the counting with my meditations, it really focuses my mind on just the mathematics with the breathing so that it clears my mind. Oh my God, do I love it. And then there is freeform, which is just your in and out, which is great for just getting into the habit of breathing. And it's useful everywhere. And you make sure that those breaths 3, and you take them deep and you draw them in deep and you hold them and you just, whatever's comfortable, 3 deep breaths. And these breaths, you really get in touch, like really focus on just encompass the breathing. So and this can be used anywhere. And this is what I call getting yourself back to center. It's great for pausing and slowing down. And if you're into psychology at all, this is fantastic for partnering with cognitive behavioral therapy. Huge with partnering with cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, if you have a coping style, we're going to get into that later with subconscious minds. If you have a coping style where you reject or push away, if you're an avoidant coping style, meditation is really going to set off a lot of red flags for you. It's not going to feel good because when you meditate, you stop avoiding. See how that works? So if you have an avoidant coping style and you sit down to meditate, you're going to open your can of worms. There are tools and techniques that you are going to need, self-care regimen, before you can step into the wonderful world of meditation, if you're an avoidant. Now, if you're a controller, as me, then you're going to step right into and go, all right, what's the job? Let's roll up my sleeves and get this done. It's really aggressive. A controller is very aggressive about hands-on getting shit done. And if you're a controller, then you don't have a problem sitting down and meditating. If anything, you have a problem sitting still because your energy is bouncing all over the place. So, which is fantastic. If you have a problem with your energy bouncing all over the place, meditation is exactly what you need because that's going to slow you down. That's where you really need to tap into the discipline side of your brain. Okay, see how we're going with this? So if there's 2 controlling styles. You're either a controller or you are an avoider. When you are an avoider, you're not going to want to meditate. You're going to want to avoid it because you don't want to have the conversation with your subconscious mind because you're avoiding. And you got to open up that can of worms. So we're going to look into coping styles later today or this week. And with coping styles, we're going to walk you through basically what techniques you need to start opening this conversation. The flip side of all of that is your controller, where you need to use meditation to slow down. And if it means you have to sit there and do multiple things while you're meditating, do it. Do it. Do it. Absolutely. Don't think that just because, oh, well, it's meditation, I have to sit here and no. What I recommend is getting a fidget spinner, a clicking pen, something, even an audiobook. Play an audiobook and meditate at the same time. Put on the TV. So I'm gonna tell you, my daughter has ADHD, and I will never forget the day I learned really what this meant. I have ADD. I don't know if I have ADHD, but I definitely have ADD. And wow. Okay, so there's this one day we were watching a television show, and I look over at her, and she's reading a book, and I'm like, "Are you even watching this?" And she goes, "Oh yeah." And I'm going, you're reading a book and you're watching TV at the same time. And I have to knit. See, I hide it. I knit and I watch TV. I can't just watch TV. Oh God, I can't do that. And I've learned that if you have ADD or ADHD, you have to siphon that energy into a secondary source so that you can focus because you have an excess of energy. So if you are a controller, well, it doesn't really matter. Controllers and avoiders can both have ADHD or ADD. So if you struggle with ADD or ADHD, it means that you just have too much energy and you just need a siphon. You just need to siphon off some of that energy. So do something. Don't think that just because this is meditation, you have to sit completely doing nothing. No, siphon that extra energy. Absolutely. I'm going to be the first meditator to tell you, do multiple things when you meditate. Like, why not? See, I have my phone, I have my book, I've got a lot over here happening. Like I've got shit happening over here. Like, yeah. Oh, God forbid. God forbid I just sit still and just meditate. Oh, fuck that shit. I can't do that. So no, I am your down to earth meditator. That's what I am. I am down to fucking earth. No, so I have this piece of paper I've been staring at. It's actually a Band-Aid thing that my daughter had. And I've been staring at it through the whole session. And I'm just like, what is that? What is that? What is that? So yeah, absolutely. Get something in your hands. Do something. It's okay. Meditation is not, this is a no ADHD club. Sorry, you have ADHD, there's the door. No, come on in, sit down, embrace your ADHD, siphon that shit off into a different source. Listen to an audiobook, listen to music while you meditate. Absolutely. There's no rules. Whoever told you there was rules? You don't have to be a monk just because you want to meditate. Embrace that shit. So yeah, if you have ADHD, then absolutely siphon that extra energy off in somewhere. You do not have to sit in silence. Okay. In addition to that, be aware of your coping style. We'll go over coping styles, and coping styles will help you understand exactly where you stand with meditation and how to start opening this dialogue with yourself. And like I said, if you're an avoidant, mental health is not going to be your friend. Like, you are going to be like, oh, it's all icky and I don't want it and I want to go over here. And it's like, I know. Actually, I don't know because I'm a controller. So I'm trying to really understand that, because a lot of my loved ones are avoiders. And I really struggle understanding how their brains work. So it's a learning curve, it's a learning curve, and I'm trying. So deep breath. I love being a controller. I love it. Deep breath. And I do this every day, every morning. This is actually how I meditate. This is how I meditate, by the way. Because I have ADD, I sit down and I'm like, la, 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 and I'm like, okay, well, make it work with me. Make it work with me. I'm a controller. So apparently I have to talk and meditate. Apparently I can't do let's just do 30 minutes of quiet breathing. Oh my God, I would go insane if I tried to do that. So that's why I don't have one of those kind of apps. So close, lower down. And like I said, if you do desire guided breathing, I rarely recommend Calm app. And I will not do just one more meditation app because there's so many out there. This is something that's not done. So I prefer more breaking down the psychology and the weirdness of what's going on while we meditate. The theory of meditation. This is what this should be called. Not meditation for beginners. It's the theory of meditation. Theoretical meditation. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for now, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. I usually record these between 8 and 9. Today I slept in because I had a really rough night. It was so hot that at 1 o'clock in the morning, I said, Uncle. And I grabbed the air conditioner and I installed an air conditioner. Up until that point, I just laid there sweating, going, I'm building character. This is good for me. What can I learn from this challenge? And at 1 a.m., I said, nothing. I need air conditioning. So literally, that is my life. Literally, I just stayed awake until 1 a.m. trying to process how overheating and heat exhaustion and heat stroke could build my character and how I could learn from this physical challenge of discomfort. At 1 a.m., I said, fuck this shit. I want air conditioning and sleep. So I woke my daughter up accidentally because I was like manhandling this. I shouldn't say manhandling. That's so patriarchy of me. So I'm sitting there trying to like haul this air conditioner into the window. I crammed it into the window and she's like, I didn't need help. And I'm like, I've got this. And then she's up and she's trying to help me. And then she gets like hangry, not hangry, but it's like the sleepy. It's the opposite. It's a synonym of, when you get hangry, we need a word for when you're sleep deprived and you're just sleep angry. Yeah, she was sleep angry. So she's like, ah, rah, rah. And I'm like, why don't you just go back to sleep? Because you woke me up. Yes, but air conditioning. So I slept in today. But yeah, I usually record these between 8 and 9 a.m. I'm going to hop on over to Shifting Perspectives now. That's where I work on your conscious awareness. It's also where I get quite theoretical in a lot of what I do, and that's where my philosopher side comes out. And then I have a lot of different things that I do, tools that I use to help you raise your conscious awareness. So subscribe to my channel. I'm on every day. Join my Facebook group, and I have a gorgeous newsletter that I send out every day that summarizes everything and that keeps you involved in news, bulletins, etc. So subscribe to my newsletter, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. This is Meditation for Beginners. Have a happy 4th of July.